middle ones are always so special. Yes. And I hope Dawn and Trina knows. Yeah. Okay. We hope that you've enjoyed this celebration thus far, but we still have the honoree to speak, and we also have the cutting of the cake, so we're going to move right along. And I have Keisha here. Keisha is the middle child of my sweet cousin James. Keisha Thomas.
Good afternoon, everyone. I thank God for this opportunity. I thank God for this opportunity to stand before you on such a momentous occasion to celebrate a man that means so much to us all, but especially to me. Proverbs 20:7 says, "Blessed is the father who shares his heart, lives his faith, gives his time, and loves his family." And this scripture highlights my sentiments regarding my dad. For over 40 years, I've had the chance to observe God's hand at work through you, Dad. And in my eyes, you're a man of humility, very soft-spoken, gentle. He's sensitive but strong. You've always been a great provider, a wonderful teacher and lecturer. I've learned so much from my dad, his guidance and wisdom. He's taught me so many things and instilled a lot in me. And I just want you to know, Dad, that those things that you have taught me have not been in vain. I thank you for the example that you have set before me, the life that you have lived, the awesome man that I have seen you to be a real man. And in my own life, when it comes to like making a tough decision, sometimes I find myself just thinking like, what would my dad do? Because he's just so wise. So I try to pattern myself after him in my decision making. And Dad, it's still my endeavor to make you proud. I always try to have my ducks in a row. I love you beyond any words that I could verbally express. You mean so much to me. You are the absolute best. And many of you all know that my dad is a great storyteller. He can tell a story, he can remember, his memory just amazes me. The details that he can recall about a story, he can tell you what this person was wearing that day from 20 or 30 years ago. He has a magnificent memory. And one of the things that I would love when we were kids, and a few people have mentioned it about my dad doing riddles with us. And it caused us to think, to like stretch our brains a little bit. And sometimes it would be something so simple, but it took us forever to figure out what the answer was. So today, in the spirit of that, we're gonna do a little trivia. And the questions that I'm gonna ask are about my father. So let's see who can get these answers. And what I'll do, I have the question, and if you know the answer, don't just blurt it out, but raise your hand and we'll try to recognize the first person. And if you have the answer correct, you'll get a prize. All right. So, where was his first job when he moved to Baton Rouge? Who can name the company? Uncle Larry. Power Tools, that's correct. And I'm sure he's told y'all about these stories, so pay attention. But one thing about Power Tools, that was like his first job here. He only made, what was it, $2 and $1.50, and he was able to purchase the first home that he and my mom lived in, a home that we grew up in as small children, and the saving the money and stuff to see where he started from to where God blessed him to move to. It just shows you how when you manage your money wisely, you're able to have some great things because of God's blessing and hand on your life. Okay, number 2. Some may remember his green pickup truck, the Ford F-150, and it can now be considered an antique. So what year was that truck made? 78, that's correct. Question 3. My dad, he's a lover of sweets, and I think that's why he is such a sweet man. So who can tell me what my dad's favorite dessert is? Ice cream. No, it's not ice cream. No. D? Bread pudding. That's correct. I think you make them some, right? We have some bread pudding coming in. Okay. There's a number that's significant to my dad and regarding to life events. And this number is the number of years that he and my mother dated prior to them getting married. And it was also the number of years before they had children. And it's the age difference between my siblings and I. Who knows what that number is? Oh, 3, yes. I thought you were gonna verbally speak it. Okay. Good job. Give her a hand. All right. And the last and final question. Now that he's retired, he loves to take his morning walks, relax in his recliner, and come home and just watch his favorite game show on TV. Who knows what his favorite game show is? I saw that. No, I feel confused. Niecy? Yeah, right. Thank you all for participating.
Thank you so much, Keisha. Keisha is a middle child. Keisha. Thank you so much, Keisha. So, when they were talking about, when Keisha was talking about the desserts, so I think someone said ice cream, and someone over there said chocolate cake. So he could still add to that pudding. Someone can get some ice cream and share with him. And so, that was chocolate cake? Yeah. It's our sweet cousin James. Okay, so moving right along, we have a time, an end time to be here today. So we still have some activities left to complete, and we still have our honoree to come up and speak. So we're going to we can do the pass. Why don't we do 2 tables of pass it on? We're gonna do 2 tables of pass it on, and I'm gonna ask that you please adhere to the time. So one person from a table. Yeah. Okay, we're gonna do one person from a table, and Chris, you choose the table. Which table? Are we gonna? The sister. Okay. Why don't we have someone come up? And we're only going to do 2 tables of pass it on. I'm so sorry to stretch for time. Okay, this is a sister. Hi, hey. Good to see you on the live. Okay.
Hallelujah, everyone. James, many things I can say about you because you're my Bars and all the others. But this is the one thing that I may say that someone else may not say. When you had your days off, you always took your time. As they say, we need to know what our children are doing. You always took your time to come to Little Woodville, Mississippi, to check on our children at school. Not only did you do it one time, you did it at least twice a year, when even the one who graduated from there didn't come. But you always took out the time. You always took out your time to show our children some love. With the graduation, you were there to take pictures. There's many, many things I could say, but I just want to say the influence that you had on our children by coming to meet their teachers and to let everyone know that you were proud of your nieces and nephews. We just want to say thank you for all you have done for my family, and we love you. And one other thing I want to say for my son, because he was raised in Baton Rouge, is that, and I don't mean to say that we're no sad memories, but happy memories, is that she was when he went to Untitled Chapter for vacation Bible school, and when they had to get up to tell what they had learned, and when my son opened up his mouth and started speaking, he sounded like Sierra. So that must be a problem of Wilkinson County school system. So I want to say thank you for your family, thank you for Ann, thank you for all you have done for us. And you heard Sierra, so you know Wilkinson County has it going on.
I want to give a shout out to the county school system. Right? Yeah. Okay, so we're gonna have one more table, and Chris has selected this table. Did anyone from this table? Was there one? Yeah. Okay.
Good afternoon, everybody. My name is Trey Thomas. I'm James' great nephew, also his godson. So I was actually trying to be humble at this table and let all my older cousins and relatives be first, but I secretly want to get on up here and say something about my godfather, already. One of my earliest memories of us as a family was our trip to Atlanta for the celebration for the Heritage Bowl. Southern University fan out there. So it was even more special when I got to play at LSU when we went out to Atlanta for the Peach Bowl. And we get our bowl gifts. That's a very special thing. We like to hold on to them, but I feel so proud to give my Peach Bowl gifts to my father, my godfather. Very special. And I know the role of a godfather many times, I guess unofficially I like to think of it as to spoil you, make you think you do no wrong. And that gets you in trouble with your God citizens. Because I remember one time, with Don, we were in his room breaking crayons or breaking school supplies or something. So as hard as they work, I know you don't break school supplies when they got to pay money for it. But unfortunately, the only person that got real trouble that day was Don. So I know I took advantage of that sometimes, and I got a little trouble that I should have gotten in as a godson. But definitely, I learned a lot watching you. The lessons, life lessons I hear everybody talk about, definitely glad to have anybody standing in the place of my father. If you wasn't doing his job, I know I had it very, very taken care of by my godfather. So happy to his birthday again, and thank you for all the inspiration that you provided us all.
What sweet words from a godson. Thank you, thank you. I know we chose 2 tables from this side, and I'm going to just, I didn't see, no, not on that side though. I'm gonna ask that, we're just gonna, we're gonna get just maybe one more table. Was there anyone over there who wanted to say something about our sweet, my sweet cousin James? Anyone? Okay, so, okay, we have someone. Okay, so passing it on to my sweet cousin James is Mr. Barges, Calvin Barges.
Good evening. I'm a retired teacher, so I really don't need a mic. Most teachers in here know that you don't need a mic because they have to talk loud anyway all day long. But the thing that I can reflect on from members of that table is James is a church member, and he's the type of person that anything you asked of him, you could count on him. Very active in church, a family person, and without being redundant of what's been said already, There's some experiences that each of us at the table can recount in the past. I myself can tell you that Brother James is a very mischievous person. And he could probably say the same thing for me. When he and I went to Los Angeles one year for the men's conference for Church of God in Christ, we had fun. That's all I'm going to say, without giving it away. But we also shared some experiences in traveling. He and Kay both made sure that our kids were taken care of on the trip, on the cruise. And he's just a very lovely person, a generous spirit, and truly a man of God. And I think that pretty much sums it without, like I said, being redundant, because so many wonderful things have been said about him.
Thank you so much, Mr. Marcus. Thank you so much. Okay, so as you enjoy the cake that's being passed around, I want all of you to stand on your feet and give this man some praise. And I'm going to ask that my sweet cousin James come to the mic. My sweet cousin James. Let's give it up for my sweet cousin James. So many nice things have been said about my cousin. He's soft-spoken. He's a man of God. He's loving. He loves his family. He loves the people that he encounters. And encounter, I should say. And he is, when you meet my cousin, he leaves an impression on you. So let's give it up for my sweet cousin James one more time. And this is a happy birthday celebration. We truly love you. And we thank you for everything you have done and will continue to do for all of us. We love you. Passing on.
Well, thank God for this opportunity and privilege. Thank God that you all have made my day special. You just look around at each other, and as you look from one to another during this event, these wasn't just somebody I got off the street. These are people that over these 75 years have had a great impact on my life. Whether you was a co-worker, I see a number of my former co-workers out there at the Exxon refinery, and as we talk, we share stories, and then there's a number of my church family members are here. I'm just grateful. I'm gonna try to cut it off short. I don't want to be too long. And I'm gonna say this. I had thought about singing a song to open up, but I'm not gonna do it. The reason I'm not gonna do it, because my beautiful niece Sierra, she included some of that in the list of the 20 songs that MTK gave her that I would like. And so I'm going to tell you the name of it, but I'm not going to sing it. The title of that song is I Am a Living Testimony. And there's a lot behind that, because just like you see me standing here, I was a sick man one time. I was down with something don't too many people live to tell about it. And that is I had a brain aneurysm a few years ago. And I was in ICU for about 5 days. And they put me in a regular room, but anyway, I stayed in a total of about a week, and then I went home. But fast forwarding, I I see I see you back there, Emcee. Emcee, she goes to the track and walk with my wife now, and so when they call to say, "Are you up?" Yeah, I'm up. So just trying to stay active. So, you know, I'm blessed to be alive. It's just simple. Blessed to be alive. So I'm cutting it off, but I appreciate all of you all coming, family. I had family come in from all across the country, especially my cousin who was the facilitator, Sister Mary Churchill Jones. And Sydney. They live, let me tell you where they live. They live in West Palm Beach, Florida. Beautiful, gated area. And we have visited there a couple times. And we have driven down there to visit her. And when we go down, you know, West Palm Beach, that ain't a place you happen to be passing through. You gotta be going to West Palm Beach, because it's about 170 miles below Orlando. If you are, most people, a lot of people are taking their kids to Disney World. So she, like she said, her flight was canceled, but she wasn't gonna let that stop her. We followed her along the way, and I think she made it to this, left yesterday afternoon, drove the many miles, and the Lord blessed her, and she made it. She was just determined to get here for her cousin's 75th birthday. And I don't know, some people don't want to tell their age for whatever reason, but when you've been through some of the things, I'm one person that's appreciative to be 75 years old and then made it this far. So let's give our facilitator, Emcee, a hand. It's Mary Churchill Jones. Yeah. We have people that come here from Florida, that far away as far away as New York City, and as close as Zion City, and of course friends here from Walker, Denham Springs, New Orleans, Texas, that come to see this little farm boy off the farm, the boy that grew up on the farm up in St. Helena Parish. And I'm just grateful. And I'm not ashamed to say I grew up on the farm. But I want to thank God, and I'm going to sit down. All of this you see that was put together by my wife. Take time. This coming August 11th, we will be married for 49 years. So I'm just going to, there's a lot more I could go on to say, but I'm going to shut it down. Now, back in the hands of Miss Mary Churchill Jones.
That's my sweet cousin James, and I'm not going to let it go because we have to sing happy birthday to him. Okay, we're following your lead. Okay, all right, happy birthday, 75th birthday to my dear cousin James. celebration. And we're so thankful that everyone was here to partake in this celebration. For the ones of you who are traveling, we wish you safe travels and traveling mercy. So thank you so much for coming today and sharing this wonderful, wonderful celebratory occasion with our sweet cousin, my sweet cousin, Cousin James. Thank you.